Opening day at Santa Anita Park is one of the most cherished traditions anywhere in the sport of horse racing. And from our very first opening day on Christmas Day, back in 1934 through today, we have welcomed the best horses, owners, trainers, and jockeys from around the country to the great race place. And of course, today we carry on that tradition. Hi, everybody. My name's Tom Quigley, VIP player concierge, sitting next to Brad Free from the Racing Form. He's the Southern California handicapper and reporter. Brad, the news of the week and the news of the day is the weather. The weather could not be nicer today in contrast to what we had when we were supposed to open the day after Christmas.
Well, Santa Anita made the right decision for sure, because December 26th, it was rainy and miserable everywhere in Southern California. Postponing opening day 2 days is no small feat. There's a lot of logistical challenges that a racetrack faces, and I'm sure glad they did, because it is absolutely gorgeous outside. The turf course is listed good.
We're on the turf. All races remain on the turf.
It's listed good. The main track is fast, and the only thing that's going to make this day any better, you know what that is. If we can
pick six carryover,
if we can leave with more money than we came in with. So I'm going to try to give some the fans a couple winners today.
And I've often thought, Brad, today, particularly with the break in racing in Southern California, is probably the most overanalyzed, people have been looking at the Racing Form for over a week. They want to run the races. They're ready with their money. It's going to be a huge day from a handle standpoint.
The nominations for the 6 stakes races on open day came out about 2.5 weeks ago, and I have looked at these races top and bottom, as many other handicappers have as well. So there's no excuse for being underprepared on opening day. I just hope the horses run to expectations.
But no matter how hard you looked at those races, Brad, they still are very tough to decipher. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of different combinations that could happen in terms of A, how the pace is in some of these races. B, we have an important scratch in the Malibu that we'll get to in a minute. But it's not an easy card at all to navigate through.
No, it's not, which is what we like. We're going to get some prices along the way. Hopefully, we land on one or two of those along the course of the. It's not an average weekday card. Not with 6 graded stakes races, 6 races on grass. There will be some long shots come in today, and I just hope that I land on one of them.
6 graded stake races, as Brad Free said, 3 of them grade 1s, including the marquee race of the day, the grade 1 Malibu. And of course, the news broke last night, Brad. Barnes, unfortunately, scratching out of the race, the original morning line favorite. Any idea why Bob had to scratch him?
I have not talked to Baffert yet. I guess I'll have to start watching Jim Hill on KCBS, because he's the one who broke the news, or Baffert broke the news to him, which was news to everybody. Barnes is out. He was the program favorite at 3-1. I wanted him in the race because that would have inflated the price on the horse that I do like, who is one of his stablemates, who's now the favorite, Cornucopian. But Barnes is out. I don't know what his issue is. Baffert dubbed it a, quote, setback. That could be anything. It could be a stub toe or even worse. Who knows?
We're expecting an on-track crowd of 40,000 people here at the great race place. It should be an exciting day. Brad, since we've got 11 races, we typically don't start early, but let's take a look at race number 1, kind of maybe do a race or two before we break for changes at the top of the hour, with track announcer Frank Miramati updating us with any late scratches. So in race number 1, of course, that begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. On opening day, the estimated pool size is going to be $1 million in the early pick 5. And what a sequence it is. We kick things off on the turf course. The rails today are at 0 feet. The distance is 1 mile on the turf. For 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, we've got a field of 12 with the scratch of the 2 also eligibles, 13 and 14. 12 different ways you can go here, Brad. Who do you like and why?
Big fields all the way through the card, starting with the opener. The program favorite is number 12, Ramayana, and this is a promising filly, but you would think she would have broken her maiden by now. She's by Uncle Mo out of the multiple grade 1 winner, Miss Temple City. Second, and I don't like the outside post. I don't like the short price. And you could argue, at least I can argue, that number 8, Chair's Coin, actually ran better than Ramayana last time out. Chair's Coin had a little bit of a wide trip. Her and Ramayana were both nominated to the Blue Northern Stakes, which is going to be run in a few days here, which tells you that their connections like these 2 fillies. Chair's Coin making her 2nd career start. I thought she ran every bit as well, if not better, than Ramayana first time out, and I expect her to make a forward move in her 2nd start. I don't think we're going to get 9-2 on number 8, Chair's Coin, but she's my top selection over number 12, Ramayana, the well-bred, multiple runner-up filly who must overcome the outside post. But Chair's Coin is my top choice.
Chair's Coin, Brad, as you can see in her one and only career start, actually broke from the far outside post going a flat mile. That's a difficult task to overcome, and now they switch over to Jose Ortiz, who's in town to ride today, as well as a number of other out-of-town jockeys coming in, not only for today, but also for the next couple of days. Joel Rosario, Arad Ortiz, Jose Ortiz. The jockey colony got a big infusion of talent.
Flavian Pratt.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. I know that a lot of people are waiting for today's this weekend to unfold before submitting their Eclipse Award votes?
Including you?
No, I've already sent them in.
Okay.
Pratt over Iran Ortiz.
And the reason being?
Well, I think Pratt's just a sensational rider. He's had a fantastic year, a fantastic career, and I think he's the best jockey going in North America.
And we knew that many, many years ago, didn't we?
For sure.
Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the main track. Once again, maiden special weight 2-year-olds. A field of 7. Number 1, Winston Ave is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here, Brad?
Thumbs up. I know he must overcome the inside post, but he ran so well in his career debut. He did not break that well. He was wide. He finished well. And the horse that beat him paid $78. Horse named So Happy. We're going to see in a couple weeks in the San Vicente. Winston Ave ran super in his career debut. He has trained well since then. And the second choice on the program, anyway, number 4, Newton, his Bob Baffert trained stablemate, has been scratched. So I'm going to go with number 3, Secured Freedom, who finished 4th in the Winston Ave race. He's trained outstandingly since his career debut, according to Andy Harrington. And Harrington, along with Toby Terrell, Daily Racing Form, along with SoCalWorkoutReport.com, there's no shortage of workout analysis on, in Southern California. Secured Freedom has trained very, very well since his career debut. I expect him to make a forward move. But Winston Ave, I think that he's the right horse. Second time out, Pratt aboard this time, and he's the horse to beat as the 9-5 favorite.
2 things, Brad. First of all, regarding the morning clockers, they certainly put in the work. As you well know, they get here very early. They have to actually then develop the report based upon what they see. So they are hardworking individuals, and certainly we reap the dividends from their hard work. Also, I neglected to mention this in the beginning, but certainly we have to give a tip of the cap to the entire track maintenance crew here at Santa Anita. You well know they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, around the clock. The main track looks fantastic. The turf course, as we talked about, is going to be utilized today. They are the secret heroes as to why we're going to be able to have such a fun time today.
Yeah, if we had this discussion 48 hours ago and you said that the track's going to be fast in 2 days, I would have said, you're nuts. Guess what?
You could have gotten good odds, right, in Las Vegas.
The track is fast, and I just hope the track plays fair. Sometimes coming out of rain, biases tend to emerge more frequently, in my opinion, coming out of a period of wet weather due to the track maintenance situation. I'm not saying there will be a bias today, but I'm going to be paying close attention to the dirt races early on the card.
And that's why you have to pay attention throughout the entire card to see if, in fact, any biases might exist. Hopefully they won't, but stay tuned, as they like to say. Speaking of staying tuned, we want to toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early scratches on today's card. Once he concludes that task, we'll come back and find out who Brad likes on the 9 remaining races. Thanks so much for joining us here on opening day at the Great Race Place.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to opening day at Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast and the turf course rated as good. The rail on the turf is at 0 feet and we are 1 hour from post. Here are the early changes. In the first race, first leg of the early pick 5, scratch number 13, Soul Sister, and scratch number 14, Ballerina. The second race kicks off the early pick 4, scratch number 4, Newton. Turning to race 3. It's the blinker note. We have a middle pick 4 starting with race number 4, and there are no changes. Turning to the 5th, the grade 2 Mathis Miles, scratch number 7, Moz. We have an 11 race program today, which means that the pick 6 will start with race number 6. It's the Lafitte Pink Guide Junior Stakes. No changes. In race 7, first leg of the late pick 5, as well as the $3 all-turf pick 3 with the player-friendly 15% takeout. Scratch the also eligibles, 13 and 14, the all-turf pick 3 on races 7, 9, and 11. The 8th is the La Brea Stakes, presented by Don Julio. Scratch number 10, Magnificat. Race 9 is the San Gabriel Stakes. Just the blinker note and the start of the $3 late pick 3. The $5 late double starts with the 10th. It's the traditional opening day fixture here at Santa Anita Park, the Grade 1 Malibu. Scratch number 2, Spinard. Scratch number 9, Barnes. And in the 11th race, the American Oaks presented by Cy Games, Grade 1 event. No scratches or jockey changes. Super high 5 wagering is offered on the finale. We are fast and good with the rail at 0 feet. Enjoy this extraordinary day of racing at the Great Race Place. We're glad you're back. And let's go back to Quigley's Corner now. His special guest today is Brad Free of America's Turf Authority, the Daily Racing Forum.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Brad Free. As you can see on the graphic on the screen, I mentioned there's going to be 40,000 people on track at Santa Anita. Some of those people will be participating in this handicapping tournament. It's a $1,500 tournament where basically whatever you bet and win is yours to keep. But if you finish on top of the leaderboard, you can win national handicapping championships, Pegasus World Cup seats, cash as well. It's only $1,000 to play. If you're going to play today, make sure you play not only if you're on track, but also anywhere around the country, because you can also play at expressbet.com, as we've been talking about so far during the seminar. A great card with certainly plenty of price potential. Make sure you get involved in the $1,500 handicapping contest. That is all Santa Anita races today. All right, Brad, we've gone through the first 2 races. Let's move forward to race number 3, where we're back on the turf course, a mile in distance. Fillies and Mares, allowance optional claiming race, I should say. Non-winners of 1 other than. Another full field of 12, as you indicated. Lukewarm morning line favorite who won last time on dirt, now back on turf. Number 4, Run a Mile in My Shoes from the Sean McCarthy barn. Give us your thoughts on race 3.
If Run a Mile in My Shoes can reproduce her dirt form on turf, then she'll win. I suspect that last race in which she earned a 95 Beyer speed figure, a 7 1/4 on Thoroughgraph, might have been a little bit of an aberration. Completely different ball game this afternoon on turf that's listed good. So I went in a different direction, but I have to preface it by saying I had a lot of trouble coming up with a selection in this race. I took number 6, Royal Charter, who ran very well coming down the hill in her most recent start. That was in October. She was the only late runner to make up any ground in a race that was otherwise dominated by speed. She rallied from 9th. She finished 3rd, beaten only a length and a quarter, and was claimed by Jeff Mullins. Jeff Mullins, one of the top first off the claim trainers in Southern California, stretching Royal Charter back out. She's still relatively lightly raced. She's only started 17 times, 3 wins. I think that she can mow them down at odds of 12-1. My second choice is number 1, Corporal Violet, whose recent races have been outstanding. She defeated a similar bunch last time out, one other than. She's in for the $50,000 optional tag. She'll be forwardly placed. She'll be saving ground right behind the speed. No knocks at all on number 1, Corporal Violet. So a couple of prices, number 6, Royal Charter, and number 1, Corporal Violet. They're both listed at 12-1 are my 1-2 choices.
Bombs away in race number 3. So says our seminar guest, Brad Free. Race number 4 on today's 11 race card offers a 50-cent middle pick 4. We're back sprinting on the main track, 6.5 furlongs of the distance. Calbred, Fillies and Mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Field of 13 here, Brad. Number 2, Rizzleberry Rose. Again, the lukewarm 7-2 morning line favorite. This early pick 5, if we get a couple of prices home, is going to pay gigantic. Give us a winner in race 4.
Well, I took a 7-year-old mare on the far outside. Her name is Wish They All Could Be. You always wonder at what point in any horse's career, especially fillies and mares,
Correct.
do they start to tail off. And if you look at her most recent start, it wasn't that great, but she's been running against open one other than company throughout the season. Now she's dropping into racing a Calbred race. This is a condition that she has won repeatedly in previous starts. She's entered for the $20,000 optional tag. Her runner-up finish in August at Del Mar, I know she got beat by 6 lengths, but she earned an 83 Beyer speed figure. That is 6 points above par for this race. The Beyer speed figure par is 77. Wish They All Could Be, as recently as summer, ran fast enough to win this race. If she still has life left, and with veteran trainer Hector Palma guiding her career, I don't see any reason why she won't, other than her age. So I took number 13, Wish They All Could Be, and the lightly raced 3-year-old filly, number 3, Miss Practical, coming in off a layoff. She hasn't been seen since March. She runs well fresh. I think that her best races are still ahead. A Calbred sired by Practical Joke. Number 13 and number 3, Wish They All Could Be, and Miss Practical over Rizzleberry Rose. And Rizzleberry Rose, I'm not going to knock her because she's in form, but she has not run fast enough to win this condition yet. Her highest career Beyer speed figure is 70. That's still 7 points short of par for this class level. So I think she has something to prove. 13 and 3 for me.
Brad's top selection, number 13, Wish They All Could Be. If you go back and look at that race that Brad referred to on August 3rd, 2 races back, take a look at who beat her that particular afternoon down at Del Mar. Formula Rosa, who is the morning line favorite in race 8, the grade 1 La Brea Stakes, which we'll get to a little bit later in the seminar. She was well clear of the 3rd place horse as well. So as Brad mentioned, if she duplicates that effort, she's going to be tough if in fact she retains her form. Brad, before we take a look at race number 5, I'd be remiss in not mentioning Jeff Siegel's name on a day like today. Of course, we miss him dearly. He was the dean of the press box. He was a good friend of yours. He would have absolutely enjoyed a day like today.
Absolutely, he would. And I learned as much from Jeff Siegel as from any other handicapper that I know or have read. Terrific handicapper, a
Terrific person.
Good person. He liked to make fun of people, and his number one target to make fun of was himself. He loved to poke fun at the nuances of human behavior, and he knew that he's not perfect. Who is, right?
Correct.
He would have loved this card today, and I think about him often for sure. I'm glad you mentioned him.
He's watching the Bruins from up above, that's for sure. Race number 5 begins the Stakes Festival. It's a grade 3, it's a grade 2 Mathis Mile for 3-year-olds traveling 1 mile on the turf course. Scratch the 7, leaves us with a field of 6. The morning line favorite, Namarone, number 3, is the 3-2 morning line favorite from the John Sadler barn. Namarone, your best bet on today's card.
Most probable winner for sure.
Okay.
I mean, he's listed as a 3-2 favorite. I think he wins this race. He was purchased for $270,000 plus early this year at a London auction. He runs for Ronis Racing, trained by John Sadler. His U.S. debut at Kentucky Downs was actually very good. Kentucky Downs is a very tricky turf course to navigate, and he ran well, finished 3rd, beat less than 2 lengths. Sadler brought him home, ran him a mile and 1/8. Maybe he made the lead a little bit too soon in deep stretch, or maybe a mile and 1/8 was slightly out of his reach. At any rate, he ran well, finishing 3rd again in the Twilight Derby. That was over this turf course at Santa Anita. And Sadler decided to skip the Hollywood Derby, which was also a mile and 1/8, to point specifically for this race. Now, a turf course with a little bit of give in the ground is not going to be an issue for Namarone. When you look at his European form, his German form, he raced over wet ground 4 times. I've never seen a turf course listed muddy. Have you?
No.
Anyway, that was his career debut. He won by 6 lengths, 3 subsequent starts on wet ground. He hit the board all 3 starts, including the Group 3. I think he's the class of the field. Flavian Pratt is aboard. He's training very well. I think John Sadler sends out a short price winner in the Mathis Mile. Over number 2, Tempest Volat, who has enough speed to either set or press the pace. That's always a good spot to be in. He ran super in the Hollywood Derby. Tempest Volat did. The race was dominated by closers. He pressed the pace, hung tough until deep stretch, finished 4th, beating less than 2 lengths. It was an outstanding performance by a horse dropping in class from a grade 1 into a grade 2. 3-2 for me in the Mathis Mile.
Brad, in your top 2 selections for the Mathis Mile, you did not include number 5, Friendly Confines. Any hypes or gripes regarding his ability to maybe win the race?
No, not really, other than the fact that Tempest Volat, I thought, ran better than he did last time out. I'm a little curious about the prices because Tempest Volat's odds were lower than Friendly Confines. Tempest Volat ran better than Lower Confines last time out, and yet Friendly Confines is listed 7-2 and Tempest Volat 9-2. I expect those odds to reverse. I think Tempest Volat goes off as the second second choice today.
Race number 6 begins the $2 pick 6 sequence. Race 6 is named in honor of Lafitte Pincay Jr. It's the Lafitte Pincay Jr. Stakes. Grade 2 race going a mile and a 16th on the main track. $200,000 guaranteed as the purse. Field of 7, number 1, Nisos is the heavy 3-5 morning line favorite. Let's face it, Brad, if Nisos is able to duplicate that effort in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, it's going to be his race to lose. You think he's going to be able to do that?
Based on his workout since race, I expect him to win this race, no doubt about it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about a 3-5 shot. He's the horse to beat. He's my top selection, but I do want to talk about a long shot in here who I think can possibly complete the exacta. And in fact, I switched selections for the purpose of this seminar. I picked Nevada Beach second in the daily racing form, but I'm going to key my play in this race around number 2, Vodka, whose trainer Aggie Ordonez has really done a great job. She has the good calibrated filly Almond Joy, who's going to be coming back as a 4-year-old. Vodka returned from a long layoff this summer at Del Mar. He won convincingly, had a brutal trip next time out, won his next start, and then on Breeders' Cup weekend at Del Mar, she switched him to the main track, and Vodka ran super. He pressed the pace, and he came away late. He won by nearly 3 lengths with a big number, a 93 buyer, a 3 on Thorograph. Here's the thing about Vodka. You go, well, it's a one other than, and he's jumping into a grade 2 stakes races. That is an ambitious class hike. In 2024, JB Strikes Back won a one other than at Del Mar, and his very next start, he won this stakes race and paid $34.80. In 2020, Kiss Today Goodbye won a one other than at Del Mar during the fall meet, came back and won this very stakes race at $33.60. So twice in the last 5 years, a one other than winner from Del Mar has sprang an upset in the San Antonio. Vodka is not fast enough or good enough to defeat Nisos, but I believe he is good enough to possibly sneak into the exacta. 3-5 over 15-1. That should pay well enough, right?
Nowhere else will you hear that type of compelling evidence.
I like Vodka. I don't think he's going to win, but I do believe he will outrun his odds today.
15-1 on the morning line for Vodka. Question for you about Nevada Beach. He's a 3-year-old. Were you surprised, Brad, that Nevada Beach wasn't entered in the Malibu?
No, not really, because he's basically a 2-turn horse.
Ever since he started his career.
Exactly. And in fact, I wonder if maybe a mile and a 16th might be too short for Nevada Beach. I want to say one thing about Nevada Beach's most recent start. He was 1-10, and he really had to gut out the victory. You know how much time he spent on the van from Santa Anita to Del Mar?
I do, because I read your analysis, but nevertheless, you tell the story.
Well, there was a giant traffic jam on the I-5 that day, and Baffert ships his horses down race day. Nevada Beach, I don't know.
It's a 90-mile distance from Santa Anita to Del Mar.
It should take a couple hours. Nevada Beach was on the van for more than double that time.
So was Kurt Hoover on a different van.
There was a lot of people stuck on the freeway that day. Nevada Beach got there. Despite that disadvantageous journey,
of course,
he still was able to get out the win. It wasn't the best race, I think, in his career. Nevada Beach, we know he likes Santa Anita. I'm not knocking him, but I think a mile and a 16th, he might be a little shade vulnerable, even though he's a grade 1 winner over the Santa Anita track. So let's see if they'll get a 1-2 exacta home and have some money for late in the card.
Race number 7, we're coming down the Hillside Turf Course. It's an allowance optional climbing race, non-winners of one other than. Also, race 7 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5, where the estimated pool size today, opening day, is going to be $1.5 million. Estimations are when the pool settles, when the gates spring open. Also, race 7 begins the $3 all turf pick 3. What a field we've got here. A field of 12 with the scratch of the 2 also eligibles. Take out both 13 and 14. Number 2, Sneaking Candy, is a first-time gelding morning line favorite. Down on the rail, number 1, Anmer Hall, who's 7-2 on the morning line, on a bit of a win streak for the Peter Urton barn. Give us your thoughts on race 7, Brad.
I'm going to pick the favorite, and I don't feel guilty about it at all, because 7-2 is not a bad price on number 1, Anmer Hall. He loves the hill. 3 starts on the hill, 1 win, 1 second. He defeated better company here at Santa Anita in his most recent start in October. And so you go, well, he's dropping off of a win from an N2X down to an N1X and enter for the $50,000 tag. He's a 6-year-old gelding. I think they're looking for the best spot to win a race. So I'm not at all concerned about the class drop. Anmer Hall's figures are fast enough to win at this class level. He likes the course, and there should be pace in here to run at. Number 7, how do I pronounce his name? Yakovlev. There you go. He's my second choice. He's been off 3 months. I have nothing but respect for trainer Jeff Mullins. First off the claim, Yakovlev. He also has run well in turf sprints. He's listed at 8-1. So Ann Merhal, my top selection over number 7, Yakovlev.
I'm going to reveal my live long shot on the day. You want to hear who it is in this race,
I'd love
Brad?
to.
Number 5, Legitimate. Here's the reasoning behind it. He's going to be a tough horse for most people to like, but take a closer look at his past performances. His only win, and you'll remember this day when it was pouring rain, was back in January when he won by a pole, won by more than 12 lengths. Take a look. He was using Lasix that day for the very first time. I'm not saying that Lasix propelled him to the win, but it was interesting that his best performance was using Lasix. Then he faced a long layoff. He came back in October at Del Mar, didn't use Lasix that day. And if you look at the running line, it almost looks like he bled, right? If he didn't bleed, Michael McCarthy could have put this horse anywhere, but instead he protects him coming down the hillside turf course now, and maybe more importantly, re-adds Lasix and gets the riding services of Jose Ortiz. Just because of all those different scenarios I outlined, Brad, I'm going to include him in all of my exotics, including the Exacta and Try, because I think most people are not going to really dive that deep into his running lines, and I can make a compelling case for him.
Absolutely. Michael McCarthy is one of those trainers. When he starts at a 10, 15, 20-1 shot, you got to take a second look. I don't blame you at all for taking a chance at a big.
He learned under one of the best, Todd Pletcher,
Yep.
right? I mean,
Yep.
and Rags to Riches was really the one that he trained as opposed to Todd when she was based out here.
She was based out here all
Winter.
long.
She was dynamite.
Yep.
Michael knows what he's doing. I'm going to string along with Michael today. Race number 8 begins the 50-cent late pick 4 sequence. It's the Grade 1 La Brea Stakes presented by Don Julio. It's for 3-year-old fillies sprinting 7 furlongs in the main track. Take out number 10, Magnificat, leaves us with a field of 10. The lukewarm morning line favorite, the aforementioned number 9, Formula Rosa, who's 3-1 on the morning line. Brad, you know this because I know you mentioned this in your article as well, but this has not been a very easy race for handicappers to decipher. My statistic is over the last 25 years, there's only been 3 winning favorites over the last 25 years. With that large of a sample size, to me, that's meaningful. This is more than just a pretty face on the card. There's a lot of different ways you can go here. Who are you going?
I agree 100%. I only went back 14 years, and there's been one winning favorite in the La Brea over the last 14 years, during which time the median payoff has been $24. Half the winners paid more than 24, half of them paid less than 24. This is a race in which taking a short price is really not historically a great way to go, which is to take nothing away from number 9, Formula Rosa. She's the 3-1 favorite based on a high figure one other than allowance win at Del Mar in summer. She came back 3 weeks later and ran fairly well, finishing second behind Sweet Azteca, who is arguably the best filly mare sprinter in the country. She doesn't race very often, but Formula Rosa has only started 3 times, but she is fast on numbers. And they tried to get her in the 2 other day at Del Mar this fall. Didn't fill, so trainer Mark Latt said, heck with it, let's just freshen her. We'll point her to the La Brea. She actually drew well near the outside. I'm not sure if she is seasoned enough, and I'm reluctant to take a short price on a filly regardless of her high speed figures. I picked Formula Rosa second, so I went shopping for not really a great price, but number 5, Usha, who's listed at odds of 9-2. And that's the reason I like her is because she also is fast. Her maiden win, she earned a 95 by her speed figure, 3 starts back, came back and reproduced that effort in a one other than with a 92 buyer. Her thoroughgraph numbers in those 2 wins were 3, and those are among the fastest in the field. The only horse who's run faster is Formula Rosa in her one other than win. She melted in the paddock in the Raven Run. It was a toss-out race. She's back training well for Baffert. I think Usha, she has shown some versatility in the past. This race is loaded with speed. I picked number 5, Usha, over number 9, Formula Rosa, but I want to throw out a long shot, kind of along the same lines that you did in the previous race, Tom, and that's number 1, Simply Joking, trained by Michael McCarthy, backing up from a route to a sprint. She made my horses to watch list out after her runner-up finish in the Bayakoa. Hope Road crushed the field, but Simply Joking, making only her second start back from a layoff. I thought she ran surprisingly well to finish second, clear of third, dropping back from a route to a sprint. I love that angle in a race that's loaded with speed. I don't know where she's going to be positioned early. I kind of hope she's outrun early because she is dead fit and she will be rolling late. She's listed at 20-1. I'm going to fashion some sort of wager that insists Simply Joking somehow hit the board at 20-1. But my top choices, number 5 and number 9, Usha and Formula Rosa.
I proclaim we play a pick three. Excuse me, Brad. I proclaim we play a daily double with the Michael McCarthy horses in races 7 and 8. Legitimate to simply joking are two long shots that certainly would pay big balloons. You know, you talked about, Brad, Nevada Beach having to endure that long van ride because of the unfortunate accident or incident on the I-5 freeway. Well, you know, my understanding is a lot of these runners in the La Brea and other shippers from around the country have also had to ship cross country via van. And the reason why is, you recall, about a month ago in Louisville, they had that tragic plane crash, the UPS plane crash. That model of a plane was L1011. That's the model that FedEx uses to ship horses all around the country as well. So you'll see these horses like 5G as an example, who had to ship in from Gulfstream Park or Palm Beach Downs. She actually had to endure a van ride across the country, and she got here early because she was able to get one workout over the track. I'm not saying that's a negative. I'm just pointing out that thank God that these people are supporting Southern California racing because of the obstacles they had to overcome in order to actually get here.
5G and her left shipped on the same van from Florida. It was a 40-hour plane ride.
Amazing.
Or van ride. I spoke to trainer Riley Mott, the trainer of her laugh, and he said that his filly took the trip no problem at all. He said that horses travel better than people do.
Just looking out the window and chilling out?
Yeah, just chilling out. A 40-hour van ride from Florida, but they've been here for nearly 2 weeks.
Correct.
Both have a workout over the track, and I'm glad you mentioned them because they are both contenders in this race. 5G making her first start since she was scratched from the Kentucky Oaks. Her laugh at least has a good prep race under her belt, a runner-up finish at Churchill Downs, in which she earned a good number. Riley Mott expects her to make a forward move, second start back. She's listed 6-1, and she is a contender.
Race 9 is the Grade 3 San Gabriel Stakes, going a mile and an eighth on the turf course. Also, race 9 begins the $3 late pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. The theme of big fields continues. We've got a field of 11. Lukewarm morning line favorite number 4, Stay Hot from the Peter Urton barn. Stay Hot's been a little bit disappointing to me. Always had a lot of ability, but can't quite get there. Give us your thoughts on race 9, Brad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, on class, his grade 2 runner-up finishes this summer at Del Mar and fall at Santa Anita suggests that he's possibly the best horse in the race. We know he likes the Santa Anita turf course. 7 starts here, 3 wins and 3 seconds. I was very disappointed in his most recent start. He lost some ground turning for home, but up until then he had a great trip, and I thought he was actually rather flat. I went price shopping in here, and once again,
here's that guy again, Michael McCarthy.
Here's that guy again. Mondego ran very, very well in the Grade 2 Hollywood Turf Cup last time, and I say that despite his 7th place finish in a 9-horse field. He broke from post number 9. That was a 3-turn race at Del Mar. Mondego was 3 and 4 wide from start to finish, and he only got beat a little bit more than 5 lengths. It was a much better than looked effort by Mondego, who shortens up to 2 turns this afternoon. And he gets Flavian Pratt this afternoon. He's listed at 8-1. This year, San Gabriel did not come up all that great. I think it was won last year by Johans, who was heavily favored that day. There are no Johans in the San Gabriel field this time around. It's kind of a muddled field. But Mondego, who ran better than look last time out, he gets my call to spring an upset. His numbers are fast enough. He has competed well enough against good company to suggest that he's not outclassed. So I like number 2, Mondego, over number 4, Stay Hot.
Mondego, Brad, not only gets the riding services of Flavian Pratt, but it's also first-time Flavian. We well know here in Southern California, that's a very strong angle. And, of course, Michael McCarthy and Flavian do very well whenever they team up together. Race number 10 is the marquee race on the card. It's the Grade 1 Malibu Stakes for 3-year-olds traveling 7 furlongs on the main track. Also, it begins the $5 late daily double, a wager also with a reduced 15% takeout. 2 scratches in the Malibu. Takeout number 2, Spinard, also number 9, Barnes. Leaves us with a field of 8. Favoritism likely to fall on number 8, Cornucopian, who's 7-2, likely to drift lower for trainer Bob Baffert. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Brad, we want to show a workout between Cornucopian and the aforementioned Barnes, who is now scratched. That's Cornucopian on the outside. Why'd you want to show this workout?
Because I love the workout by Cornucopian. I was out here that morning, sitting right behind trainer Bob Baffert in the grandstand, and next to clocker Gary Young, well-respected clocker. And when they hit the wire, both these guys, I don't know what they actually said, but it was a very positive analysis by the workout. That was cornucopia on the outside. He went better than Barnes in this workout. And I know on the outside, maybe that's that's the best place to be in an orchestrated, choreographed workout. But cornucopia ran super, or worked super. We know he runs well fresh. His career debut at Oaklawn Park early this year was the best race of his career. He won by more than 5 lengths with a huge number, a 101 Beyer, a 0 1/4 on Thorograph. He's a fast horse who runs well fresh. Flavian Pratt is aboard. He's listed at 7-2. We're not going to get that. I think that Cornucopian can win the Malibu, but this is not an easy spot. Goal-oriented, who was perhaps too close to the pace last time out in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, and he just completely folded. Blinkers are off. He'll probably get outrun earlier. He'll take back off the pace. Joel Rosario is aboard. Goal-oriented will be rolling late. Baffert has 4 of the, how many starters are we down to? 4 of 8. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Baffert won 1, 2, 3, 4. His other 2 starters are number 3, Matticat Road, who reportedly is training very well, and also Midland Money, who seems like kind of an allowance caliber horse. Surprised he's listed at odds of 7-2, but his speed figures are very, very sharp. He adds blinkers, making his 3rd start back off a layoff. So Baffert's going to dominate this race, I believe. I like Cornucopian over Goal-Oriented.
Brad's top 2 selections in the Malibu, Cornucopian and Goal-Oriented, both take blinkers off. I've spoken numerous times about how much I respect Bob Baffert's ability to judge when blinkers need to come off horses. Just take a look through his Hall of Fame roster and see how many times he's done it with tremendous success. We close out an outstanding 11-race card. In race number 11, offering $1 super high 5 wagering, we're traveling the classic distance of 1.25 miles on the turf course. It's the American Oaks presented by Cy Games. It's for 3-year-old fillies. We've got a field of 11. Number 10, At Scylla, is the 5-2 morning line favorite. At Scylla, to me, Brad, is my most is the vulnerable favorite on today's card. She had to scratch from the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. She didn't make it back in the mornings until early December. There's a lot of reasons not to like her, but I know other handicappers who do. You on page with me, or are you looking elsewhere?
I think that we share the same opinion along with a lot of people. She's not going to be 5-2. Her odds going to drift up because everybody hates her today. So she'll probably
win by 10.
She will. Based on her European class, she certainly is qualified to win. Group 1 placed overseas, a Group 3 winner overseas. But with only 2 workouts and having not raced since early October and drawn on the outside, she's the type of favorite that I don't mind taking a stand against. When you look through this American Oaks field, it's not really an outstanding lineup. It was won last year by She Feels Pretty, who was 3-5 and at the end of a fantastic campaign. 2 years ago, it was won by Anisette, who was 3-5 and at the end of an outstanding campaign. There are no She Feels Pretties or Anisettes in this year's field. It's the type of race that is ripe for an improving, lightly raced allowance winner like number 3, Cliffs. And when you look on paper, her most recent start at Churchill Downs, it was her first start since August. She had to gut it out by a head. It's not what she did during the course of the race. And she was expected to win. I get she was an even money favorite going 1 mile. It's what she did after the wire, and that is she absolutely blasted off and galloped out a mile in front. This is a filly who's taken a tough class hike from one other than into a grade 1. In 2010 and 2011, Harmonious and Nayreed both won this race. It was in spring at Hollywood Park at that time, but they went from one other than into the grade 1 American Oaks and sprang upsets. I expect the same thing from Cliffs. There's a lot of people who like her, unfortunately, so you can kiss 6-1 goodbye and maybe look at half that, but I like Cliffs quite a bit. Number 2, Will Then, ran well against older fillies and mares last time out, going 1 mile 3/8. She's dropping in class from a grade 3 to a grade 1. And I say that because she ran against older last time out. Now she's in against 3-year-olds. I think this is an easier spot. That's why I say it's a class drop, despite the graded designation. So number 3, Cliffs, over number 2, Will Then.
Brad, I respect you a lot, and I appreciate you coming on the seminar today. You always do an outstanding job. Best of luck with all your selections. But before I let you go, just a reminder, we've got 2 more wagers to talk about briefly. That would be the $1 coast-to-coast Pick 5 offered every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, combining races both from Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita, as well as the $1 coast-to-coast Pick 6. That certainly is another wager that people enjoy playing. Last 3 races at Gulfstream Park from the last 3 races at Santa Anita. Keep in mind, we have live racing every day this week except Tuesday. That means tomorrow we've got a 9-race card scheduled to begin at noon. We'll do the seminar 10:50 a.m. Pacific time. Enjoy opening day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to opening day at Santa Anita Park. At this time, we direct your attention to the winner's circle and welcome Stefano, who will perform the Star-Spangled Banner. Stefano is a soulful singer, songwriter, and performer, blending timeless elegance with emotional depth. He has earned acclaim and shared the stage with legends such as Babyface, David Foster, and most recently, Stanley Clarke at the Hollywood Bowl. Drawing from classical soul, R&B, and jazz, his cinematic yet contemporary sound earned him his first major music award at the 2025 HEMA Awards. Please rise to honor America as we proudly present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Stefano. We will hear from Stefano again after race 6 with his rendition of God Bless America. Good morning and welcome to the great race place, Santa Anita Park. It's opening day. The track is fast. The turf course is good. The rail on the turf is at 0 feet. Here are the changes. Nothing new to report at this stage. In the first, scratch the 13 and 14. Early pick 5 begins with race 1. In the second, scratch number 4, Newton. Turning to race number 3, no scratches, no jockey changes. The fourth offers a middle pick 4 on races 4 through 7. In the fifth, scratch number 7, Maz. The fifth is the Grade 2 Mathis Mile. Race 6, the Lafitte Pink Eye Junior Stakes, Grade 2 event. And in this race, we do have something new to report. Scratch number 5, British Isles. British Isles is now scratched out of race 6.